Hi everyone, I've done this journey a few times. I'm off to Dublin with a horse box on the back. That can only mean one thing. Yes, it's new bike day.
And welcome on board the CRF 300L. Been on a waiting list for this for about 5 months. Like hen's teeth to get, but anyway, here I am. I'm out on it. This actually is genuinely the first time I've been on it. So my reactions within this video are my first and live honest reactions. And on that note, I'll kick off. Okay, riding position straight off. I feel very tall. It is a tall bike for me. Actually, I'll give you my dimensions first of all. I'm 5'8" and I weigh 190 pounds. Now, obviously I'm sat upright because it's a dual sport bike. The handlebars seem perfectly spaced. Within this video, I am actually going to take it onto a bit of a dirt track and do a little bit of green laning and see how I get on with that. For those of you who saw my attempt at green laning last year on the R1200 GS, you'll realise what an absolute tit I made of myself. I did everything wrong, and that's why I got this bike, because it's been bugging me ever since. It's my weakest part of riding. So I want to learn how to ride off-road, basically, and improve those skills. So if you're not already a subscriber, then become one, because you can follow my trials and tribulations on this bike, basically learning how to ride off-road. Another great thing which is happening is that my 19-year-old son is motorbike mad, obviously because he's seen what bikes do for me. So he's going to learn to ride on this as well. So at some stage I'll be featuring him, see how he's getting on with it. But anyway, back to first ride, first thoughts review. So the mirrors are absolutely huge. So I can see both sides clearly beyond my elbows, and I'm not tucking my elbows in or anything. It's always lovely to ride a new bike. They recommend keeping the revs for the first few hundred miles anyway below 5,000. That's fine. I'm not going to be tearing the arse out of this today. It's funny when I lean the bike over just like that, it seems to want to keep leaning over. I'm always a little bit wary when I'm riding on knobbly tyres. I never feel totally connected to the road, but the roads around here anyway at this time of year are bloody awful. All the farmyard crap everywhere, as you can probably see. Very greasy, so I'll take it fairly handy. Just touch the front brake there, and that's very soft. There is ABS on both wheels, and it's selectable on the rear wheel for when you're off-road, because you don't want the back wheel locking up on you when you're in the mud. So I must remember to do that when I take it onto the dirt track later on, because that's the sort of thing I'd forget to do and then come off and call it a day. And here's the rain! I don't know if you can see that on the camera lens. Of course it is, I'm out on a motorbike, has to rain. Very quiet bike. Very quiet. So I'm doing 90 kilometers per hour. Doesn't feel like it. Very comfortable. Seat's a bit hard, but it's brand new, so I'll give it the benefit of the doubt, and it's not like I'm going to go touring on it. But I love the riding position. I nearly I've just settled into it really quick, actually. It's very light, very flickable. I love that. It reminds me of riding something as nimble as like an MT-07 or something, you know. But then it's only 140 kilograms of there or thereabouts. So it's a very, very light bike. 28 horsepower as well, which obviously is not a lot on paper. That's at, is it 8,500 revs, 28 horsepower. So there's not a lot on paper, but all of this is relative with the weight of the bike. Just under 80 litres for a fuel tank. But I've read reports people are getting over 80 miles to the gallon. So that'll do. And what's great, obviously it has the fuel gauge on it. Also gear indicator. Really nice little layout on the dashboard. What I don't get is the front brake line, which just covers the dashboard. I mean, it's a bit odd, that whole thing. Okay, let's follow this road. I don't know where this goes, but looks like it could be interesting. I might try and do something just to move the brake line out the way at some stage. But for this review, which is, again, first ride, first thoughts, I've kept the bike absolute stock as it comes. I've added nothing to the bike apart from a camera mount. I just wanted to ride it straight out of the showroom and give you my first impressions.
And on that note, I'll do just that. So, a quick summary so far. Let's face it, it's a back-to-basics bike, but it's basic done well. And what I mean by that is that the ergonomics are perfect, although I haven't stood up yet off-road. The width of the bike fits like a glove with that nice slim mould to the albeit hard seat, which paired with very soft suspension lets me nearly flat-foot the deck. I'll see how my riding off-road improves, as maybe one thing I could mess around with is the preload on the rear shock, or even a full rear shock replacement, as many of you owners seem to be doing. But so far, for a bit of road and a bit of light mud work, it feels ideal. It has really good road presence, and both indicators as well as the headlamps stay lit as you're riding along, increasing your visibility too. So all in all, we're off to a flying start.
I'm really enjoying it. One of those bikes which you settle into straight away, and I have done. There's no, I know I'm on knobbly tyres as well, but there's no vibration, even when I was doing 90 there on the main road. No vibrations at all coming up through the handlebars or the seat, or indeed the mirrors. This is fabulous. Okay, I'm loving this already. Okay, ABS is off, and let's green lane it. Lots of big ruts and potholes on this, and very muddy. Big forestry works or something here. Might go up there, see what's up there. And I've just used the front brake on the mud, which I shouldn't have done really, but there you go. It's just soaking it up, back end's flicking out lovely there. Oh, this is fantastic, but that's as far as I'm going. I ain't going no further. Certainly ain't going up there. Wow. Oh, great fun. Like a kid in a sweet shop. You can probably hear I sound out of breath. It's a pure adrenaline. It's not because I'm unfit. Well, it might have something to do with that as well. This is very, very soft ground. What's down there? Oh, that's for another day. Come on, Dave. keep the motorbike under power anyway on this stuff. Literally the back end is slipping everywhere. That's my tracks from coming up here. It's just a great bit of fun now. Lovely. Now, what's up here?
And this is exactly what the bike was designed for. It's like a mini Land Rover. It'll actually take on anything you point it at. It certainly seems that way anyway. But the biggest thing it's done for me so far is to build my confidence. I'm not afraid of taking it off-road. And bearing in mind, less than an hour ago, I was really terrified by it. So already the bike has instilled a huge confidence level within me.
Where am I going? I don't know where I'm going. I don't care. So I'm in 4th gear there, just pulling away pretty much from a standstill around that corner. Very talky. Loving this. My legs are at perfect sort of 90-degree angle as well. It feels very comfortable. Just going to stand up here. Right, even for me, the handlebars are a little bit low, so that could be something I could look into. Already I'm feeling myself sort of leaning over to meet the handlebars, which you don't want to be doing really on a dual sport bike, especially when you're in the mud. But first impressions, what a little beauty! See where this little road takes us. Probably up to a wind farm by the looks of it. Blue skies now as well. Lovely. What a great day out. Really settled into this bike. Unlike any other motorbike, I'm actually aiming for the potholes on this. Oh, boys will be boys. Okay, it looks like I'm hitting a bit of a mud track, which is exactly what I'd hoped for. Actually, this is brilliant. I'm in 2nd gear, and the throttle curve is really smooth. It's not bitey or jumpy at all. I'm just sort of very gently twisting the throttle to get out of this sort of shit here. Some big logs just lying in my path there. I don't know how much you can see on the camera, but this is great. The bike is just swallowing all of this stuff up. Back end's just slipping there, nice. Glad I took photographs of the motorbike when it arrived, because I don't think the bike's ever going to be that clean again. Certainly if today is anything to go by. Well, look at the scenery out here. This is gorgeous, folks. Wow, lovely. Oh, am I going to have fun on this little bike. I honestly feel like the bike just fits me so well. It's like it was custom made for me. Perfect dimensions. The tyres, IRC tyres, they might not be the best, but sure, they'll do me for what I want, so I'm not going to change out new tyres just for the hell of it. So I'll wait until I've worn these ones down and then consider changing to another brand. See how we get on. I'll do a bit of research about that. Slipper assist clutch on this as well, which is brilliant. You can definitely ride just using one finger on the clutch if you want, which will be handy when I tackle more off-road dirt tracks. My other bikes have all got quick shifters, so not really used to using a clutch, to be honest. Right, so I'll get back on the bike now. Did you see how much the suspension goes down when I sit on it? It's very soft, the suspension, which is grand for the moment. I don't intend to be doing many jumps just yet, but there you go. I'm nearly flat foot, as you can see there, on both sides, but I'm very safe anyway. I've got both feet just about flat footed. That's really good. Okay, let's do a little walk around.
Right, so what do we have here then? Okay, based around the electrically started 286cc single-cylinder power plant is a 7.8 litre fuel tank, with reports of over 80 miles per gallon from some users, but I'll let you know how I get on over the coming months. The front forks are 43mm upside down and also have over 10 inches of suspension travel. And paired with a 21-inch front wheel, it's going to soak up a small asteroid crater. The back wheel is 18 inches, and again, the suspension, I'll just have to wait and see how I get on with it. The brakes, front and back, on Nissan with dual ABS and selectable on the rear, as you saw earlier when I went off-road. The brakes, I've noticed, are definitely on the soft side, but then they are brand new, and I haven't exactly slammed them on yet because I'm also on those new tyres I mentioned, the IRC ones. They are medium compound, so on a dual sport that equates basically to jack of all trades but master of none. Again, I'll see how I get on with the tyres before I also change them out. The ground clearance is a whopping 285mm, so you can clear entire landscapes with that, especially since the bike is only 142 kilograms wet, so you can glide over most of it. The LCD screen is bright and very easy to glance at for full info, and the slipper assist clutch is perfect for one finger operation, and it really does ease you back down the gears without bringing your lunch back up, which is especially handy if you're off-road and don't want to be relying solely on your brakes to bring you back under control. Sitting above all this is the hard seat, which is 880mm above the road. Another nice little feature is that there is a toolbox which you could also fit a bottle of water into or a sandwich, and if you did fancy going further afield, there are some very useful luggage bolts which you could simply connect your bungees to, or indeed buy some third-party panniers, which I have no doubt are being made in abundance. Such is the popularity of this bike. And with all that said, let's get back on the road.
Genuinely think it's going to provide me with lots of fun. I feel very suited to it. I feel very fitted. I can't find fault at the minute. Now, I know when you've just acquired a new bike, most of us would say that, but I've ridden enough bikes now over the last couple of years whilst I've been vlogging to spot things which are just going to annoy me rather than things wrong with the bike. So I can honestly tell you that I haven't spotted anything. If I was clutching at straws here, the seat is definitely a bit on the hard side, but sure, I seem to complain about most motorcycle seats, so obviously that's just my thing. Maybe I've got a bony arse. Actually, that's not the case. So maybe that's just my thing. My hang-up in life is motorcycle seats. And the looks of it as well. Don't get me going about the looks. As you all know, I choose a bike first of all on its looks. Everything else falls into line after it's passed the beauty pageant, or after it's won the beauty pageant. And I think this is just a super looking bike. It really does remind me, I wasn't allowed motorbikes when I was a teenager back in the 80s. Mum and Dad wouldn't let me have them. The day I left home I went and got one though. But anyway, that's a different story. But my friend Richie, he always had great motorbikes. In fact, he was the coolest kid in school. He used to ride to school on a motorbike. I just thought that was the best thing ever. But he had DT80s and gotta forget the name and the model of them now, Hondas and Yamahas and Suzukis actually, 80s and 125s, all sort of what I called then scramblers. They were obviously road legal, but this bike reminds me of them. It's a real throwback. It's a sort of retro style dirt bike, I think. Let me know if you agree with me, or maybe I'm just losing the run of myself altogether. Anyway, I think it's a stunning looking bike, and that's all that matters. And it's beautiful to ride too, so that actually matters as well. I quite like getting lost on a motorbike, don't you? It's all part of the fun. I'm just very happy out on this beautiful CRF 300L. Thanks a million for tuning in, folks. If you were able to learn anything, or indeed if you enjoyed this, you might consider subscribing. Because I'll tell you something straight off, there's going to be loads more outings on this.
So here in Ireland, the bike is €6,600 from Megabikes in Dublin, with service intervals of every 10,000 kilometres, so that makes it quite an affordable bike and very easy to maintain. With that said, I think it's an absolute belter of a bike. If you're thinking about test riding one, or indeed even buying one, join the waiting list. There's no surprise that there's a 6-month waiting list worldwide. This really is a super little bike. Thanks again for tuning in, folks. You know who I am, Wheelie Good TV. Over and out.